Welcome to the field. Every call is governed by a high-stakes institutional standard built on training, camaraderie, and culture. Your assessment begins before you ever touch the patient. The moment you arrive on scene, you must establish a general impression, identify obvious life threats, and determine if the patient is tracking you. We visualize this through the Patient Assessment Triangle, or PAT. This three-sided framework focuses on appearance, airway, and circulation to skin. You are looking for immediate answers to three questions. What's my general impression of the patient? Do I see any obvious life threats? Are they tracking me? Answering these questions from a distance dictates the entire trajectory of your emergency response, allowing you to categorize the patient's severity before physical contact. Once the initial PAT is established, you move into the deeper operational sequence of the assessment. The process begins with the 4 Ps: position, pulse, pupils, and pain. Pulse measures RRQ, rate, rhythm, and quality. Below that, the 3 As, airway patency and RRQ, asymmetrical chest and face, and attentiveness. Finally, the 2 Ts, temperature and Turgor. Turgor checks skin elasticity for hydration. High-performance paramedicine requires multitasking. You must mentally group these acronyms while preparing to perform the physical checks. Committing this specific alphanumeric sequence to memory prevents critical diagnostic omissions when the stress of the field increases. When you arrive to find a conscious, tracking patient, the assessment becomes a structured interview combined with physical observation. Execute the 4 Ps as you walk toward them. You'll say, "Hey sir or ma'am, I'm the lead paramedic. Can you look this way and tell me the reason you called today?" Keep talking before the instructor or patient can answer. During their response, note their position and pupil presentation to see if they are pinpoint, dilated, or unequal. Transition to the 3 As by placing your hand on their radial or brachial pulse. This allows you to simultaneously gather data while maintaining patient contact. While notating the pulse rate, rhythm, and quality, listen for any complaints of pain and assess their airway and quality of breathing. Look for asymmetrical chest rise before checking the face for lack of symmetry. This provides a clear indication of their attentiveness and a general GCS score. GCS is the Glasgow Coma Scale, a 15-point scale used to objectively measure a patient's level of consciousness. Finally, apply the 2 Ts. Before you remove your hand from the pulse check, note the topical temperature of the patient and the skin turgor. Stacking these assessments visually and physically buys you critical time and establishes immediate clinical control. If the patient is unresponsive and not tracking you, the framework remains the same, but your pace must accelerate. You still rely on the PAT, the 4 Ps, the 3 As, and the 2 Ts to guide your actions. On approach, note their exact position. If you see a life threat, you must issue rapid commands to your team members immediately. If you see an amputated leg, for instance, you command, EMT, put a tourniquet on that leg and airway hold C-spine. Check for responsiveness by asking, "Sir or ma'am, can you look this way and tell me what happened?" If they do not respond, apply a painful stimuli and check a carotid pulse for rate, rhythm, and quality while inspecting the pupils. Move directly to the 3 As. Assess the airway and the rate, rhythm, and quality of breathing. Look for asymmetrical chest rise and facial presentation. This determines their current level of attentiveness. There is a strict clinical rule for this scenario. If the patient is completely unresponsive, the 3 As automatically equate to a GCS of 3. In a non-tracking scenario, the framework transitions from an interview into rapid, delegated life-saving management. Every scenario begins with the Patient Assessment Triangle. It is the foundation of the entire encounter. This chart shows the complete system. Methodically answering the 4 Ps, 3 As, and 2 Ts reveals the correct path to treatment every time. Adhering to the structure ensures no obvious clinical clues are skipped during the chaos of an emergency scene. Mastering this automatic framework is the dividing line between an amateur responder and a seasoned, field-ready lead paramedic.